Hey guys, my name is Sid and welcome to another episode of Living in Dubai. So this series covers all the things that happened to me in Dubai, and I share advice about certain topics that I think might be interesting to you guys. So if you guys have any questions, leave me a comment and hit that subscribe button. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit about my experience of buying a house in Dubai. So I've been a homeowner for about 4 years now, so I think I have a pretty good idea about all that's involved in buying a house here. Also, I have invested my own money into buying property in Dubai as well. I thought I'd give you guys a general overview about what is involved in buying a house in Dubai and maybe how it compares to like renting in Dubai. This video is mostly going to be catered towards end users who are looking to buy a house to live in. But at the end of the video, I'm going to give some of my thoughts on real estate as an investment in Dubai as well, and certain projects that I'm considering buying in the future. I'm not in real estate whatsoever, so I'm not an agent or anything like that. Roll the intro. So let's talk a little bit about the legality of owning Dubai property. As an expatriate, you're allowed to buy property. It's freehold, so legally you are entitled to that property. Now, I'm not exactly sure about this, but I think that if you have a property of a value of over $1 million dirhams, then the government will actually issue you a visa, a residence visa based on that property purchase. I'm not exactly sure about it, but I'll leave a link to some more information about this in the description. So you can technically own property in Dubai. When I grew up in Dubai, actually, buying property was not allowed over here, and it's something they introduced back around 2003 or 2004. And that's when the first few properties started being sold in Dubai, and it created a huge rush of investment. People could see that Dubai was heading in the right direction, and a lot of people chose to buy then and profited heavily. Then what happened is during the 2008-2009 time, when the whole world was in depression, Dubai property prices dropped as well. So about a year after that is when I got married and we first moved into the building that we're currently living in. And I was staying in a 2-bedroom apartment in this complex. And when I first moved in, there was nothing here. I mean, there were no shops, there was no grocery, there weren't even proper roads. But I knew the location was amazing because we were so close to downtown. And I knew that this place had great potential. I could see the plans, and they had designed this huge shopping complex right below our house, and there were going to be fountains and a view of the Burj, and I just knew that this property would appreciate with the combination of the fact that property prices were low because of the real estate crunch, and this property was brand new. It had just been handed over when we got in. So after living here for 2 years, I decided to buy it, and then me and Mamta were considering buying a 2-bedroom. And then eventually we stretched our budget and we ended up buying a 3-bedroom, which was awesome because right after that, property prices started increasing in Dubai again. And something that I bought for about 1,000 dirhams a square foot now is about 1,500 dirhams a square foot or 1,400 dirhams a square foot. I would have made a significant profit over there if I sold the apartment, but I decided to hold on to it because it's such a great location. So yeah, that's the story of my purchase. Now, I had bought property previous to this. When things were booming, people were making millions and millions of dirhams on property. I decided to buy an office as well, which didn't work out too well for me because like maybe 6 or 8 months after I bought it, the property market crashed, and my property was still under construction and things got held up for a long time, and I lost a bunch of money on that. But overall in the property game, I think I've profited in Dubai. And I do think there's still room for growth in terms of property prices and stuff. If you compare Dubai to other places like London, Tokyo, New York or Bombay, Dubai is still relatively cheap. So getting down to the basics. Let's get to the important questions. Now, how can you buy a property in Dubai? Now, if you're an expatriate, and if you don't have the cash, like most people, to go out and buy property outright, you'd probably be looking at a mortgage. Expats are allowed to take a 75% mortgage in Dubai now. You need to have 25% in cash to put as a down payment. On top of that, you need to be eligible for a loan for the value of the balance. Interest rates in Dubai fluctuate, but you can get like a fixed tenure rate for 2 years for about 3.5% to 4%. after which the rate might go up slightly by 0.5% or so. Another thing you need to know about in terms of cost is that you will have to put down 4% for municipality fees and government fees to register your property. So usually loans have a processing fee in them as well, so you'll pay about 1% in processing fees and another 0.25% in loan registration fees with the government. So all in all, I'd say you need about roughly 30 to 32% of the value of the property if you plan to buy. That's not factoring in real estate agent charges, which are roughly 2%. So yeah, around 350,000 dirhams is what you need to buy a one-bedroom property. So for every million dirhams that you borrow, you pay roughly about 5 to 6,000 dirhams in EMI if you take a 25-year loan. So that should give you a quick way to kind of calculate. So if you're looking for a 2 million dirham house, you put down about 700,000 dirhams, you borrow 1.4, your EMI is going to be roughly, 10,000, something like that. Now, how does that compare to renting a property? Now, I found that it's roughly the same. So if you're paying 150,000 dirhams in rent, you'll probably end up spending about 150,000 for your EMI as well as your maintenance charges. Now, maintenance charges are a huge thing. This 3-bedroom apartment that I own has a yearly outgoing of 36,000 dirhams. So I spend almost 3,000 dirhams in a month just in maintenance charges. I think it's highly overpriced, but that's a different argument. If you are looking to buy, definitely consider that you are going to pay a significant amount in monthly charges. So let's break that down again. For a 1-bedroom apartment, you're paying 350,000 dirhams down, which includes your 25% equity, your registration charges, and your real estate charges, loan registration, as well as your real estate agent. Then you start paying roughly, if you're buying something for $1 million, you're borrowing about 750,000, which works out to about 3,000-4,000 dirhams a month in EMIs, plus your maintenance charges for 1 bedroom, which would roughly be a 1 million dirham property, would be about, say, 10 to 15,000 dirhams a year, so another 1,500 there roughly per month. So about 5 or 6,000 dirhams a month that you're paying for your EMI plus your maintenance. So that's roughly 75,000 dirhams a year. If you were to rent a 1-bedroom apartment that costs $1 million dirhams, it would cost you roughly the same in rent. So the benefit for buying is basically the appreciation of the property over time. So say you keep the property for 5 years, and now that 1 million dirham property is about 1.3 million, 1.4 million, that 300,000 dirhams is your profit. On top of that, any equity that you paid off, so every month that you pay, some equity comes back to you. So I would say after 5 years, you'd maybe get, out of 75%, maybe you'd get 5 or 6% equity back. After 5 years, when you sold that property, you would roughly get the 25% that you invested, whatever appreciation the flat has, which could be, I'd say roughly 5 to 10% for the sake of calculation, plus any equity that you paid back to the bank. So yeah, you could be walking away with 500,000-600,000 dirhams at the end of it all, as compared to renting and wasting all that money. So that's my thought on buying a property in Dubai. I would say if you have the money, if you can afford to do it, especially if it's a good project and the building's really nice and you see that this building has the potential to really grow. If you want to figure out which loan might be the best for you, I have a couple of friends who work in mortgage consultancy, and I could get one of them to come on the vlog and talk about mortgages in Dubai, and definitely answer some of your guys' questions in relation to how to get a mortgage, what you need to get a mortgage, what kind of EMIs you can expect exactly, and so on and so forth. If you guys want to know about where to buy, maybe I can get one of my friends who works in real estate. I have 2 or 3 friends who work in real estate, who own their own real estate agencies, and I'm sure I can get them to come on here and give some free advice as well. So lately I've been looking at some of the newer projects that have been launching in Dubai, and I think the Harbour Creek project is a very interesting project to look out for. It's going to be complete after 4 or 5 years. It's not exactly consumer friendly right now. That would be more of a long-term investment outlook. But yeah, I think that's a good place to check out. I actually did a vlog a couple of weeks ago with the SL500 where we saw the Harbor Creek offices. That's where they're building the new tallest building in the world. So check that out if you're interested. I'm gonna leave a link over here. So guys, that was my story about buying property in Dubai, and I hope you guys enjoyed the advice and some of the information that we had in this video. Let me know if you are planning to buy a property in Dubai and where you plan to buy it. As I told you, I'll try to get my friends on here and speak to you guys about mortgages or real estate suggestions, whatever you guys want. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this. See ya.